weeks ago, I said his foreign policy proposals and reckless statements represent a danger to our national security. But you might think that because he has spent his life as a businessman, he'd be better prepared to handle the economy. Well, it turns out he's dangerous there too. Just like he shouldn't have his finger on the button, he shouldn't have his hands on our economy. I don't say that because of typical political disagreements. Liberals and conservatives say Trump's ideas would be disastrous. The Chamber of Commerce and labor unions, Mitt Romney and Elizabeth Warren, economists on the right and the left and the center all agree Trump would throw us back into recession. One of John McCain's former economic advisors actually calculated what would happen to our country if Trump gets his way. He described the results of a Trump recession. We would lose 3.5 million jobs, incomes would stagnate, debt would explode, and stock prices would plummet. And you know who would be hit the hardest? The people who had the hardest time getting back on their feet after the 2008 crisis. One of the leading firms that analyzes the top threats to the global economy, called the Economist Intelligence Unit, comes out with a new list of threats every month. It includes things like terrorism and the disintegration of Europe. And this month, number 3 on the list is Donald Trump becoming President of the United States. Just think about that. Every day we see how reckless and careless Trump is. He's proud of it. Well, that's his choice. Except when he's asking to be our president. Then it's our choice. And said that wages are too high in this country. He should tell that to the mothers and fathers working 2 jobs to raise their kids. He said, and I quote, "Having a low minimum wage is not a bad thing for this country, at a time when millions working full-time are still living in poverty." Back in 2006, before the financial crash, Trump said, and again I quote, "I sort of hope that the housing market crashes because he'd make money off of all the foreclosures." Over the years, he has said all kinds of things about women in the workforce. He once called pregnant employees, and I quote, "an inconvenience." He says women will start making equal pay as soon as we do as good a job as men, as if we weren't already. Now these are the words, not of someone who thinks highly of women who work, or who cares about helping parents balance work and family, but instead he clearly doesn't know much about how we have grown the economy over the last 40 years, which is largely thanks to women getting into the workforce and